Today I'm going to show you how to use a built-in translating feature in Google Chrome. This feature, when used, can change all of the text on any website into any language. So this text right here that is currently in English, we would be able to change into another language, for example, Spanish. Here's how you can do it. What you need to do is you need to right-click on the website, which will open up a menu. Near the bottom of the menu, you will see an option that says Translate to and then a language. When you click on that option, it'll automatically start translating to the other language. Notice how the text on the site is now in Spanish. This box right here allows you to control what language that you want to translate into. If you click the snowman icon and pick Choose Another Language, there's a drop-down menu that's quite extensive and has lots of options. Click Done once you've picked the language that you want, and then your text will be in that language. A really cool feature is that this also works with subtitles. So in Google Meet, when I turn the subtitles on, notice that when I'm speaking in English, occasionally you'll see that English in the subtitles, but it'll quickly change to the language that I want to translate to. If you want to turn this feature off, you can get back to the options by clicking on this Google Translate symbol that's next to the star. And when you open up that box, you can click back on English and everything on the website will now be back in English. Okay, you can toggle back and forth by clicking on that Google Translate button and picking the language that you want. This works on other websites as well. So for example, if you have an English language learner who would be better taking a Google form in their native language, this is currently written in English, but I could right click and click Translate to Spanish. And now notice all of the text is now in their native language. Okay. This also works on websites like Google Classroom. Here's a Google Classroom. You can right click, click Translate to Spanish, and now all of the text is now in Spanish. I do want to point out that this translating feature does not translate text that is within an image, and teachers can use that to their advantage. If you are a foreign language teacher posting assignments that you specifically want in that language, you can post the questions as an image, and that way students can't translate it to English to complete the assignment. This feature is very powerful if you're meeting with students or meeting with parents. You can teach them these steps of right-clicking and translating to their native language, and that way they can see your speech in their own language. Okay, these subtitles that are currently displaying on my screen are not displayed on anyone else's screen. Okay, that's only on the one that I'm seeing. So you will need to teach your students or teach your parents how to turn subtitles on and how to turn on the translating feature. I also want to point out that when you use this translating tool on a website or Google Meets, it does not change the content for anyone else. It's only changing what is being displayed on your device. So this Google form is being displayed in Spanish. It's not actually changing the Google form, and no one else accessing this form will see it in Spanish. They'll see it in the language that the form was created in, and they would need to change the language on their computer if they wanted to translate it as well. This translate feature also translates the text in the chat. For example, as the teacher, you can type a message in English, and a student who has the translating feature turned on will see that text displayed in their native language. As a teacher, we can use this translating tool to translate text and speech in the other direction as well. For example, if our student is speaking or typing in their native language, we can translate that into English. To do that, we'll need to switch the two languages. First, click the snowman icon, pick Choose Another Language, and we want to translate into English. So I'm going to select English and click Translate. Next, we need to translate this English into Spanish. To do that, click the snowman icon and select the last option that says page is not in English. And from this drop-down menu, choose the student's native language. Then click Translate. Now that this is set up, it's going to take any text or speech in Spanish and it's going to convert it into English so that way we can understand it. We can try this out right now. If I turn my captions on, I can speak in Spanish and the captions will appear in English. Me llamo Señor Walter. ¿Cómo estás? As a last resort, if you're unable to communicate these steps to a student or to a parent, you can turn your settings on so that way it translates English into their native language. You can turn your captions on and then you can present your screen. By presenting and sharing your screen, your student or their parent will be able to read the captions that you're sharing with them. The drawback to this is that you won't be able to then translate their native language back into English. Or if you did want to toggle between them, you would have to change these settings back and forth each time you and the student wanted to say something.